everyone, and welcome back to my channel. If this is your first time here, welcome. My name is Belinda. Beauties, today I'm going to be doing 4 fall DIYs using the majority of Dollar Tree items. I'm not quite ready to decorate my whole house with fall decor, so I decided to start small and decorate this small accent table that's in my dining room. These are all the DIYs that I'm going to be creating. I'm going to be adding a whitewash color to a fall leaf garland, and then I'm also going to transform a plain foam pumpkin, and then I'll also be creating a cotton wreath, and then also turn a plain candle holder into a fall piece of decor. And I'll also be transforming a plain plastic basket into it looking like a wire basket. So if you want to see how I create these DIYs, then please keep watching. But before we get started, I just want to ask if you could please subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and also you'll click that bell icon so that you can be notified every time that I upload a new video. Okay beauties, let's go ahead and get started with these DIYs. Okay, so I want to start by showing you the items that I'll be using. I'm going to start with this foam pumpkin from the Dollar Tree, 1 LED pillar candle, some of these pumpkins from the Dollar Tree, 1 willow wreath, 2 cotton stems, some white chalk paint, a paintbrush, some scissors, 1 burlap leaf, and a cardboard, and this is from a backing from an 11 by 13 picture frame. Some raffia ribbon, some black and white wire ribbon, and this ribbon I purchased at Hobby Lobby. Also some brown burlap ribbon, some Spanish moss, 1 decorative corn, 2 fall leaf garlands, a plastic basket also from the Dollar Tree, and this already made vase. I'll go ahead and link the video up above and how I created this vase. I'm going to be using this shot glass and candle holder just to use them to give the pumpkin some height. And I'll be using this metal word that says thankful that came in a pack of 3 from the Dollar Tree. I'll also be using a utility knife, some Rust-Oleum metallic spray paint, a pencil, and my glue gun. There is some items that I didn't mention here in the beginning, but I will mention them as I start each project. Okay, so I'm going to start with the basket. Now what I need to do is make a base for the basket since I'm going to be adding the moss inside, so I need the base to hold the moss. And all I'm going to do is just outline the bottom of the basket and then just cut it with my utility knife. Okay, so the next thing that I'm going to do is take the basket outside and spray paint it. Okay, for the first DIY, I'm going to be doing the whitewash fall leaves. I'm going to be using a plastic bag because it is going to get pretty messy. I'm also going to use a paint dish and also some rubber gloves and also some water. Okay, before I start to paint them, the first thing that I'm going to do is remove all the leaves from the garland. Okay, the next thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to water down the paint. Now I had very little paint in the container, and I'm just gonna shake it up, and I'm just gonna make sure that the paint is nice and watered down. And here I'm just trying to show you the paint, how there's very little, because you won't need that much paint. Okay, so I'm gonna start by painting my leaves. Now I don't know if the consistency is where I need it to be, so I'm gonna start with this 1 leaf and see how it looks. I wanted the paint to be a little bit more transparent, so what I did is I added some water to the dish, and then I was going to be dipping my paintbrush into the paint and then into the water and then mixing them up and see how that looked. Okay, so I was happy with how the paint turned out, so I'm just gonna finish doing all the leaves, and once I'm done, I'll go ahead and show you what they look like. This for me was more of a trial and error. I had never done this before. So really, if you decide to do this, you can mix up your water and paint and make it as transparent as you wish. Okay, I'm done painting all my leaves, and the leaves are still wet, so I'm gonna set them out so they can dry, but I just wanted to show you what they look like, and I like how the color underneath kind of peeks through. Okay, now the second DIY is transforming this pumpkin. The items that I forgot to mention is the twine and also some of this greenery. Okay, so I started by cutting a total of 9 strips of this ribbon, and they were approximately 9 inches long. Okay, basically all I did was just hot glue the ribbon onto the pumpkin, and I just started at the top and then I would just hot glue the bottom part. And then I just continued until I covered the pumpkin throughout. For whatever reason, I don't understand why I did this, but I went ahead and I hot glued the ribbon on the top, and I didn't fold it, I just kind of laid it flat, which was a mistake. Mistake 1. The second mistake that I did with this pumpkin is that I left it orange, and I really should have painted it white. I don't know why I left it that way. I don't know, maybe it's because I have a cold and I'm not thinking straight, but you'll see how it looks and how it turns out. Okay, the second strip that I put, I did fold the ends as I'm showing you right there, and then I hot glued it at the top and then the bottom, and like I said earlier, I just continued to do that until I covered the whole pumpkin. Okay, so this is how my pumpkin looks now that it's all covered up with the ribbon. And what I'm gonna do next is hot glue some twine around the top of the stem. Okay, once I was done adding all the twine, I went ahead and I cut a piece of that greenery and added it to the side of the pumpkin stem. And I just added a little dab of hot glue. And this is the end result of the pumpkin. And as you can see, some of the orange peeks through the white, so that's why it was a mistake. I should have painted my pumpkin white. Okay, the next DIY is gonna be a cotton wreath. Okay, the first thing that I'm gonna do is I'm gonna make a banner for the wreath. And so I'm just gonna cut a piece of that burlap ribbon, and then I'm gonna hot glue the metal wording onto the ribbon. Okay, next I'm gonna go ahead and hot glue the ends of the ribbon at the back of the wreath. And here I'm just showing you what the wreath looks like with the banner on, and then where I hot glued the ends at the back of the wreath. Okay, next I'm gonna go ahead and add the cotton stem, but first I'm gonna go ahead and cut that piece of long stem, and I used my scissors, but I also used some wire cutters to cut it off. Okay, so now the next thing that I did was add the cotton stem, and I attached it on the wreath. And what I did is I just cut a few pieces of that Rapha ribbon, and I used that to tie down my cotton stem. And then I just kept positioning the cotton stem where I needed it to be. And then once I was done with that side, I went ahead and I added another cotton stem to the other side. Okay, this is what the wreath looks like with both of the cotton stems. And now what I'm gonna do is just cut off the strips of that Rapha ribbon on the back side, and then once I do that, I'm done, and here is my cotton wreath. I could have added more cotton stems, but I thought that this was enough for what I was needing it for. Okay, this is the last DIY, and I'll be turning this into a fall candle stand. I'm going to be attaching this burlap leaf onto the glass vase, but first I'm going to cut off that wire stem that the leaf came with, and then I'm just going to use some of that twine just to wrap it around the center and then tie it at the back. And then I'm going to take my pillar candle and drop it into the vase, and this is what it looks like. Okay, the last thing that I did was I just put everything into the basket. I didn't get to film putting everything in because my battery went out from my camera. Basically, I put the vase at the bottom of the basket. Then I added my candle holder, and then I added some moss at the bottom of the base just to cover the cardboard. And then I added the pumpkin and the rest of the items. Well, here you have them, beauties, the 4 fall DIYs. I forgot to mention the green ceramic pumpkin that I added in the basket. I forgot to mention that one. But there you go. I hope that you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give me a thumbs up and also share. I'd really appreciate it. You have yourself a blessed day, and I will see you on my next video. So until then, bye-bye and God bless.